First time here. And Republican strategist Rina Shah, a regular, are here with me now for the political panel. So I talked to Jennifer Freeman about this earlier in the show, represents many Epstein survivors, about how this is such a bigger deal in the United Kingdom politically than it is here. How do you assess that, Mally?
Well, I think in our country, we are so incredibly polarized that once something becomes a partisan issue, it makes folks just go into their separate camps and everything becomes a bit of a 50-50 issue. With that being said, though, this is an issue that is affecting the Trump administration. We know, other than Trump's gambit to try to invade Greenland, this is the most unpopular political issue he has. I wish the U.S. would embrace the same level of accountability that the UK is embarking on with holding Keir Starmer and his government accountable for appointing Mandelson. But I think it's just harder in the U.S. because we are so entrenched politically in our own tribes.
So Thomas Massie, Republican of Kentucky, is no weather vane of the House Republican Conference. He's out on his own. He always is. He's constantly attacked by President Trump. And he said this over the weekend about Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, whose name appears more than once in these newly released files. Let's listen.
Should he come before Congress and testify?
No, he should just resign. I mean, there are 3 people in Great Britain that have resigned in politics. The ambassador from Great Britain to the United States, the prince lost his title for less than what we've seen Howard Lutnick lie about.
The White House was asked about this, said he's a great member of the cabinet and we're focused on the future. Nothing appears to be happening there. There's not much quaking around the Trump inner circle, even though the Epstein file story continues.
Yeah, it's not particularly surprising, though, because this is a story that they have learned to live with. And I hate to put it that way. At this point, we know that these unredacted files are revealing a bipartisan web of silence. And that, to me, has been the most shocking. It's not like one side or the other. Elites from both sides, they protected their own. And what it proved is that Washington's real divide isn't us versus them or red versus blue. I think here is a moment in which Trump could step out, but how can he when he's also named, when this was a longtime friend of his? So I think, to me, the wildest part here, and the part that I'm always concerned about, is Congress.
Right. And there's the interesting geography of it is it's Washington, it's New York, it's Palm Beach, it's a little bit of Hollywood, it's a little bit of London, it's a little bit of the Middle East.
And, well, that's Congress, too. It represents all of the country, right? A body made up of all these people, and they're sitting on dynamite right now. This is not about justice anymore, I think. That's a problem. That's got lost here.
Well, the victims and their attorneys say it is, but the politics around it continue to reverberate.
And that's what's showing that this is a slow drip strategy to weaponize scandals for midterms, and that keeps voters hooked like a bad reality show.
Speaking of the midterms, John Ossoff, running for re-election in Georgia, it was thought to be a really competitive race. It doesn't feel that much anymore. Here's a new ad he cut which talks about the very thing you mentioned, Rina. Let's listen.
This is a government of, by, and for the ultra-rich. It is the wealthiest cabinet ever. This is the Epstein class ruling our country.
That's quite evidently not an ad. It's just a speech. But nevertheless, the message is the same.
The message is the same. And Epstein, even though so much of what we focus on is the abhorrent sex crimes, he also was trading in favors and financial information. That's what brought down Mandelson. Mandelson himself is gay. It wasn't the fact that it was the girls. It was that
he lied.
Yeah, he lied, and that Epstein gave him or that he gave Epstein privileged information. And you see insiders trading with each other on information. Essentially, you had Epstein as Satan's concierge, just providing anything to these rich elites that they wanted, whether it was access, information, the ability to feel special and powerful. And I think Ossoff has really been able to connect two things that Americans care about: corruption and the economy, and being able to connect those two messages together, that these folks are trading and on their privilege while also hurting you economically, is a powerful message.
Let's go to Texas really quick. New poll, University of Houston. Let's go to the Republicans first control room. It shows, according to their most recent data, margin of error about 4%. Ken Paxton leading 38%. Incumbent Senator John Cornyn 31%. Wesley Hunt 17%. That means Paxton's in the lead if this poll is correct, but not at 50%, which means there's a runoff.
Sure.
How do you evaluate that? Because Senate Republicans keep urging Trump to back Senator Cornyn, keep it in in the Senate the way they expected. It doesn't look like that's trending that way. Turning Point USA this afternoon endorsed Paxton.
Right. So I don't know what's going to shake out there because I think there's just so much bad blood between Cornyn and Trump that we don't really hear about. I can tell. I don't know how much more I can say other than I don't think he's going to come to his aid. But
the president to Cornyn's.
The president won't come to Cornyn's aid, but I will say the president needs to pay attention to what's going on here. This is, and no one's really admitting this, this could preview a Dem playbook for the South, blending progressive fire with real local flavor. I think that's what I'm sensing here, whether you're talking about Tallarico or Crockett or anyone. I'm seeing it all kind of. There's a sense here that you can turn red districts purple without selling out.
Mally, I want to ask you about this. We got about 30, 40 seconds. Jasmine Crockett in the same University of Houston poll, again, 4% margin of error, 47%. James Tallarico, 39%. How do you assess Democrats if Paxton is the nominee? Is that a better campaign option than against Cornyn, the sitting incumbent?
Absolutely. Ken Paxton. First off, incumbents, it's useful to be an incumbent. You have higher name ID. It helps you win elections. But Paxton is seen as much further to the right and much more extreme. On the Democratic side, I believe both Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett are interesting candidates. But I think our best bet is with Tallarico because he is less polarizing and he is less defined by the electorate. And it gives him a better opening to hopefully win.
Mally Smith, well done. Rina Shah, great to have you back.
Thank
Mally,
you.
come back.
Thank you.
Hope you had fun. I sure did.